This hotel in Germany has witnessed many transformations over the years. Old postal cards reveal it was already alive with energy back in the 1930s, a cherished retreat at the foot of a ski slope. When the sports enthusiasts from near and far filled its halls, their excitement echoing through the mountain air. But the transformation didn't end with the exterior. Inside, the contrast is even more striking. Where once the hotel rooms were filled with guests, and the restaurant brimmed with a lively murmur of conversation and a gentle chime of glasses, now only silence remains. Its doors closed for the final time at the turn of 2005, leaving behind a place where the halls have long been devoid of any activity for nearly 2 decades. However, the hotel is remarkably well preserved in time. The competition grew fierce. Dozens of hotels sprang up around it, swallowing its guests and its future. And now the outlook for this once vibrant refuge seems bleak. Join us as we venture behind the closed doors of this grand former tourist complex, where life once flourished, but now only emptiness fills the space. Welcome back everybody on a brand new video on the channel. Today we are in Germany and we're gonna explore a hotel that's been abandoned around 2005.
Yeah, the place has been abandoned since 2005 and you can definitely tell if you look at the furniture over here, yeah, around that time era, and everything is still left over here. I need to be quite honest, like the place is in a good condition in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really untouched and it gives you a really feeling of a typical German Gasthaus. That's like a very typical German hotel from that time.
Exactly.
From like the 80s, 90s, and it's beautiful, completely untouched. Beds are still made up, you're not gonna believe your eyes. So it's not gonna be a mansion or house, it's gonna be this hotel today and we're gonna explore it. If we enter right through this door, we're actually gonna be there. But first, we are standing right now in the main entrance and we still have the cigarette machine over here.
There used to be like a lot of packages inside, but of course they've been taken out.
Never seen the inside of such a thing.
And then, let's just immediately start off, man, and go in.
So this is where the people, the hotel guests would come in, right at the reception desk that's right over here. We're now in the main lobby of this typical German hotel. As you can tell, guests were able to have a seat here, relax, lounge in the lobby, check in for their rooms right here.
It's beautiful, man. I mean, this is really typical Germany, like typical. And as you can tell, like everything is left. Of course, they placed some of the stools and everything that was in here, just spread it widely. But yeah, this was the check-in desk. Over here the people would check in, man.
And over here are also all these numbers. I'm not sure if they were for the rooms.
I do think so, yeah. I do think so, man.
Plenty of books. It's quite creepy doll over here. Also on the ground you can still see a lot of receipts and everything. It's even umbrella still in the umbrella holder. Leaflets over here from national parks close by.
Statue. The sofas over there. They look pretty comfortable and pretty luxury actually.
This was a little corner for the children.
And over there, look Mo, there is a picture of when the hotel was still...
So you can tell it's a very historical hotel that we're exploring today. Because this is definitely a bygone era. You see all the spider webs right now. In between the seats.
This is a very unique space, like a very unique place to explore. And what is also very cool is the books over here. We even have the old Stephen King books, The Shining. It's a very famous movie actually.
This place is really in a remarkable condition for such a short time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Alright, then let's walk behind here, because this was once the office.
2004, 2005 over here on the calendars as well. The last operational date of the hotel. Another picture of the hotel. Over here used to be the keys inside of the rooms. Certificates are dating from 2001 for a woman named 𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝗆.
Bro. You know, this place almost feels unreal, man. Have you ever seen an untouched hotel in this state?
Definitely not this untouched, I think.
No. I mean, definitely not, right? What are these, like?
Buttons.
Ribbons? Yeah, buttons, right? There's old purse even over here.
And we have the desk.
What is very cool on the desk, there are still the credit cards and the American Express card
No way.
from the hotel. And even names, and I do think... Alright, so...
I saw the name Peter, but that's a different name than the woman that actually received the certificate of the hotel for the hospitality.
Yeah, but she is also probably here. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
That's another name.
That's another name, okay. Well, the last names, I don't know if we should pronounce that, but that was definitely the family that owned this hotel. These cards are from them, and even some private cards. I mean, why would you leave that? I don't get it, man. The keys indeed are still over here. These are probably from all the rooms, but honestly almost every room is open, so we don't need any keys. Damn.
The keys are even on almost every door of the rooms. They're just still on there.
Bro, it almost feels like so unreal. Also seeing this office, like there are freaking American Express cards and like identity cards still over there.
And all the archives are also still inside of this drawer. Okay.
Let's continue.
We're leaving the reception desk in the lobby. Also still all the decoration is still on there, as you can see. And right over here it already says where we're going to.
The restaurant. And bro, you can actually tell that this was a big property and a big hotel, man. Well, at least the restaurant. They definitely could hold some gas over here, man.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
All the corners are so untouched and so typically for German.
Hey. Hey. Hey, it's a Dutch, ja, it's een Dutchman. Voor onze kleine gasten. Oeh. Okay, so this was
this is the menu card for the little children.
Yeah, man. Rote Kapken, spaghetti met fleischsoße, 3 Kartoffelpuffen mit Apfelmus, Moby Dick, knusprige Fischstaben mit Remoulade und Sand. Bro, look at these prices. €2.90.
Yeah, but that was also only for the children, right?
Yeah, of course, bro, but still before inflation hit it.
What it's saying over here, German quotes.
I don't know, man. All right, let a German viewer translate it. Oh, Mo, look.
I've seen it, yeah. There was a picture of what the restaurant used to look like. Also look at the lamps. So typically for German.
Beautiful, man. Well, just quickly run up to this part.
Whoa. All the tables still with the tablecloths made up. It's crazy.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's really like but it is 100% abandoned, like for a long time already.
There used to be an aquarium over here. Over there as well, and look, an old accordion and a typewriter. Some decoration over here.
Another aquarium over there. Over here people could hang up their jackets. And look at that one in the corner.
With these benches in each corner, it's so typically German.
Yeah, man.
Also the lamp. All made from wood.
Alright, so this is from 2010 actually.
Thank you for a wonderful tour in 2010. Strange, maybe the hotel stopped operating in 2005, but people still went inside.
Exactly.
After that time.
I do think so, man.
But like you said, they had a lot of space for people to lunch, have dinners, probably also breakfast.
Over here, reserviert.
Still saying reserved.
And what I saw was one other thing, because this is also like a beautiful space. You could definitely sit with family over there. Is look at the old picture of a man sitting there.
Wow, that's inside of here. Crazy. If we could turn back time and just see how this hotel was when it was still operational, and then right now explore it after all those years.
Yeah.
It would be such a contrast.
Would really be a contrast, man. Then just the imagination of the place gets abandoned and neglected in a state like this.
Freaking pharaoh over here. A bust.
Well, you want some breakfast, Mo?
Oh, there was still some cereal.
Yeah, wow, man.
I've seen lamps like this, like candle holders like that in Sweden as well. So it's funny to see them again in Germany.
They're
right
typical
now.
German.
Well, I've also seen them a lot in the Swedish homes. Again, some books and toys for the children. I think it was really a family-oriented hotel for guests with little children. A vending machine. Used to be full of cold drinks that they served. Also here on the shelves, all the glasses are still there, from beer glasses to normal soft drink glasses.
I do think that's empty. Yeah, it's this one on this side.
I can't manage to open it, man.
No, it's stuck. It's completely stuck.
Draft over here.
Old Fanta bottle.
We actually have the kitchen. This is also an area that you don't often get to see from a hotel. Where all the coffees were made.
De keuken. Jamaican rum. To make the special liquor coffee. 𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝘆𝗹𝗶.
It all looks very vintage.
Yeah,
to the screen and the monitor.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you can tell. Oh, this is also like all the cutlery is still there.
It's completely dusty.
Yeah, man. Just fully abandoned. fully abandoned, man. But it was quite a big kitchen. Imagine that there were people probably living in this area and they worked there as a chef or as a receptionist, you know?
Yeah. And we were told by our friend that this is also a quite touristic area, so I think a lot of people come over here to hike in the beautiful nature, the very scenic area over here.
Well, they had their healthcare.
The mad chef over here.
2004. So definitely last operating in 2004, man. 2004, 2005.
Over here all the dishes were done, I bet.
Yeah, man.
And also everything was stored. My gosh. That was for the ice cream coops.
Peppers. Damn.
All the dispensers for the spices.
Bro, untouched, like untouched.
It's really like time I stopped here.
A time capsule, but a hotel. Come on.
There is even a basement over here.
Let's check it out.
They probably had cooling departments over here.
Yeah, well, it's actually upstairs. Or is there one over here?
Well, at least the laundry was done here, but that's only 2 washers. I think this was mostly just storage.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, plenty of clothes over here.
Children clothes as well.
Even the name of the child is in there, Danielle.
Yeah, this was definitely clothes, man.
I wonder what this is doing here.
Well, let's do things also for the personnel. I mean, look, there is this chef clothes.
Oh yeah, for the staff, you mean?
For the staff, yeah, exactly. Damn. Yeah, another coffee machine. You can tell it's just storage for the old stuff. Let's head back up. Back upstairs, and actually over here. What's the freezing cell, man? Like the freezer.
So we didn't find it in the basement, but it was just on this level. We're leaving the 𝗦𝘁cie. And we're going back to the main restaurant part. There is another part with some restrooms that we're gonna show you. As you can tell, it's saying over here WC, that means toilet. But firstly...
Wait. First this one. The menu card.
Oh yeah, this is cool. 𝗦𝘁cie means starters. They had soups, steaks, and really good prices.
Yeah, man. Really good prices. 80 euros, but it's definitely before inflation hit it, believe me.
And then we actually have a ballroom over here. Check it out. It was definitely a room where children could play. People would maybe have some courses, did some dancing.
I do think so, yeah. Definitely.
Look, some taxidermy even over here. I think we're definitely in an area where also people hunt.
Yeah. There are definitely some hunters in here, man.
All parts of skateboards over here.
I think you're right, indeed. Like, this is really the area where people would just have fun.
Definitely, maybe they also had some hotel animation for the children. Another picture of the restaurant when it was still booming and opening and operational.
As you can tell, the wall decorations, beautiful pieces actually. Can even feel cobwebs, man. NYC.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah, man, exactly here. Very cool. The world map. Do you think this is still from back then? No, no, it's not. Whoa.
2018, 2019.
That's strange.
Yeah, maybe they still use this particular room for something, I don't know. We also miss some taxidermy on top of the walls, by the way. We have a duck, a bird, and a squirrel right there. And there is more taxidermy over there as well.
Yeah, man.
You really have to look high. And we have all these lamps. And there used to be music in this space as well. On this upright piano from 𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝗆. I've never seen this maker of pianos.
Alright, give it a try.
This one is still very well.
Yeah,
Very good condition.
it's definitely well preserved. Look at the arrow also, like the arrow shooter over there.
The crossbow.
Crossbow, exactly. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, then we're going to the part where I was just talking about, the toilets. They used to be right here. You can tell there are some windows smashed. And we have to cut the voice a little bit in this part. People used to go up the stairs. And then they had the toilet area for man and woman.
Just show them.
And then the woman right over here.
Well, before we're going upstairs to the actual hotel rooms, this is quite cool and also quite vintage. You had a cell phone room, a telephone room.
Phone booth.
Yeah, where you could make a call, man.
So cool, a little phone booth over here. Still with the rotary phone right there. Yeah, that's definitely vintage.
Yeah.
Also all the country codes right here, where you could dial to.
We actually did this. This part we already did. This was where the kitchen was. But maybe there is something here.
It says no entrance, so I'm curious what is there.
Ooh.
It's just storage, right?
Yeah, but there is another basement. But the window is just open over here. Head down to the basement.
It's strange that there are numerous basements.
Look in there. I don't know what is in there, but
A lot of glasses from the restaurant.
bro, it's so strange that this place is just wide open. The door's just wide open, and also over here there is just a window which is just wide open.
Bottles of wine.
Storage, a lot of storage actually. As you can tell, the decay in here. Yeah. Just some more storage, man.
Yeah, it looks also like a little part where they maybe used to work or something.
Mm-hmm. Let's head to the interesting parts.
To the actual hotel rooms.
Alright, let's head upstairs. Yeah, sorry, sometimes I speak a little bit more silent and quiet, but I don't know, this place is so untouched and so easy that it almost just feels unreal, right? Like, why does not a lot of people try to explore this? This place is so unique.
True, but I just think that almost nobody knows about it.
Bro, and they were in love with the restaurant, like, they loved the place. I mean, they even have this.
And look where we are right now, by the way. We are in an upstairs corridor, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. But bro, look. Like this was the hotel.
Wow, very historical, even look at the car.
But it used to look different back then. Because there are also seats over there.
And I believe that this balcony is also not there anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Used to be bigger.
It used to be bigger indeed, yeah.
Well, let's head into the first hotel room.
Bro, I think this hotel actually just sort of thing, but I think this hotel has a big history. I really want to find that out, but yep, this is the first hotel room.
Still so tidy. I would not really mind spending the night here, honestly.
Oh no. And there was just one thing. Room cleaning service is not here anymore.
Nope, unfortunately not. Became all very dusty. Just gonna tour room by room. Because every room is a little bit unique and a little bit different from the other one. Yeah, those were just the bar rooms, and you can also still tell the towels are even still hanging up. Like the last guest checked out, they still cleaned the room one last time, and no new guest did come here anymore. 77 euros for this room.
That's quite expensive actually.
So around $85.
Alright.
For that time it is quite expensive.
Yeah man, really expensive.
But for American means, still quite cheap.
Still quite cheap indeed.
Another hotel room, still with the soaps, the glasses.
Yep.
This was just a single room for one person.
What do you think the price tag was in this one?
I don't know, maybe 40, 50?
41, you're correct.
As I told you, the keys of the rooms are still on the doors. This was room 18. This room was 82 euros, so this was probably one of the most luxurious rooms they had.
Well, if I see that television over there, then luxury.
Great that it's in fact still left. Wallpaper is peeling here from the ceiling.
As well, the bathroom, shower cabin.
Still think that 82 euros for this room is a lot.
It is still a lot, yeah, definitely. Then let's head to this room. You know what is also so cool is that every room is still properly left. Yeah.
Still with the mattresses,
Yeah, man.
the sheets,
There
the
are
pillows.
definitely no clothes. No, these are just empty. Oh, well, look, bro. This is also quite cool. The typical,
Oh yeah, the little vault.
the little vault, man, in every hotel room.
Spider webs between the nightstand and the bed over here. Still the alarm clocks there. The phone to dial the reception. Also where little bathroom with a shower and a toilet.
Well, over here, it's just some storage. Also need to be quiet because the window is open.
Looks like they all stored pillows and sheets here at the hotel. Definitely. This corridor is so beautiful. All the carpets on the ground.
Another simple room.
Just for a single person.
Yep, again also 41 euros. Look, there's this old spinning wheel on top.
Oh, that's cool.
The Sad Clown painting, a very famous painting actually. Yeah, I mean, normally we don't tend to show like all hotel rooms because we're like, yeah, they're all the same, but this one we really want to show because everything is left in every single freaking room.
Wow. Still decoration on the walls, the lamps on the nightstand with candle holders, even a teapot over here glasses.
Bro, and I mean like, also the bathroom. This is a beautiful bathroom actually. I do think this is also one of the most luxurious rooms. Oh, it's also 77 euros.
Okay. So the room on the other end of the corridor was definitely the most expensive one so far.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is again a single one. But a quite bigger one. But this was...
Oh, it is a very narrow bathroom.
Yeah, man. But besides the narrow bathroom, this was the more luxurious 𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝗆 suite. You know why? Because they raised the price with a heavy €2.50.
Okay.
It's 43.50.
Okay. So this was the premium single person room. Crazy.
€2.50 and you get this extra space. Why? Yeah, and then over here, just give them a quick glimpse, because you really can't see the outside from here. I think it's just storage, man.
I'm not even sure where is this going to. Well, as you can tell, there is still some sort of a balcony over here. That's probably leading to the balcony, but I'm gonna catch a lot of attention when I go there. Just gonna leave it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the top floor yet. I think there are gonna be more rooms.
And I do think over here is the penthouse, because I've seen it in all the pictures, that there is one room with a balcony. And I do think that's definitely like the most luxurious room they had in here.
Wondering if it's still there.
Oh, sorry. Completely covered in dust. Look at that beautiful instrument decoration over there.
Alright, this actually looks like a room where really like somebody stayed for a long term.
They used to live over here, man.
36 euros for this room.
Or this is a room, really?
Yeah, but I have a feeling that there are much more personal things inside.
There are much more personal things in here, man. Look at this. This is cool. The old phone, rotary phone, out of marble.
It's quite unique.
Yeah, man. Never saw that. Indeed, the Philips screen over here. Just a single bed, yeah? You can tell. And also over here used to be like safes over here.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Used to store some money in that, I think. It was probably a part from the owner. Yeah, definitely some clothes in here as well.
Clothes?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's definitely strange. This was not just for a hotel guest, I think. Well, what you saw in the picture and thought maybe is a penthouse, I think it's right now this over here, but also definitely something where probably the hotel owners lived.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, there. Silver coloring, man. Damn. Some silverware.
This room is such a mess.
Yeah, now it is such a mess.
I'm trying to store literally everything inside here. Some pictures. It's probably from the hotel owners, and I think they actually passed. Probably the children were not interested in taking over the hotel.
No.
And eventually they couldn't find any new buyers, and right now they're trying to rent the building out. But they're not being successful so far. Another room over here. There are some pornography. Yikes. Not even going into detail.
Well, there is actually a lot. A lot over there, man.
It says over here 19, so would this be another room? Oh yeah, this was another room. Also a single person room.
Yep. But this one actually doesn't have a bathroom, does it? Oh no, it does. Over here.
And finally, we're going inside room 20.
Damn. Oh no, man. Yeah, bro. Watch out. Because you can tell what they did over here. Well, this is at least a cool room to finish this off, but you know why the smell is so horrible?
Why?
I already thought that I knew that they did something with it. You saw the fire extinguisher?
Ah, so they blew the fire extinguisher in there.
Yeah,
That's why
man.
all the white powder is there.
Yep. Yeah, you can tell that this place is just abandoned and neglected, man. It's so sad to see, but stupid that people do something like that, man.
Definitely off, but luckily they didn't smash up too many things inside.
No, true.
This used to be a beautiful hotel room, by the way.
Yeah.
I think one of the most expensive ones.
And a luxury one. Definitely. Because this one also has a big balcony. I do think this was one of the most expensive. Damn. It's 84 euros, man. 84 is not a lot for this room. But yeah. Well, there is an attic. But I don't think people manage to get there.
Yeah, let's leave that, man. Let's leave that. We still have another building to explore. So that's what we're gonna do. And then, yeah, we'll see you there. So that's the other building right there. And it was part of the hotel. It's the hotel that we just explored.
Damn. Bro, look. There was even a car left.
Oh. Mercedes.
A Mercedes car indeed. It's not that old actually. Alright. This is our entrance in.
Well, this part is empty so far.
Yeah. It seems like they tried to renovate some things, but yeah, it's quite empty. There is bathroom indeed.
Also, this part is way more moldy than the other one.
Yeah, man.
Way more decayed.
Very well decayed. It's all made of wood. Like traditional.
Yeah, but that counted for the other hotel too, but I think this part hasn't been used for a longer time. That it already closed before the other hotel was still operating.
It's a guest house. Yeah, this is closed, man.
Yeah, that's how they call it in Germany, Gaststätte. That's what I was telling you in the introduction. So it is just part of the hotel. It's really strange how this is all oriented.
Yeah. And there's doors just wide open. People can just walk in here.
All right. Over here is definitely more to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, we got many more hotel rooms over here. And the bed's beautiful.
Yeah. Very well detailed, right?
A lot of German influences in the lamp,
Yeah.
the style. Also, if you look to the chair over here, with the heart-shaped hole. This is part of a bar.
Yeah.
We do have 2 beds in here.
2 quite plain beds.
Again, a little television. It's actually from Samsung.
This was also more of a simpler room. It was 64 euros for that. And it's still in such a good shape, man.
Yeah, honestly, this room looks amazing. I really like the style of the wardrobes and the beds in this part. With the paintings. Really goes to show that only a little more paint work on the beds can really make a huge difference.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Over here is like a kind of balcony. No, it's the roof, I think.
It's a little patio.
Yeah. And then over here is something pretty cool. What do you think this was? A gym? Or like a physio
I think this was a physiotherapist.
Skill over here. It's not working anymore.
Maybe for people that actually hike a lot.
Yeah, man.
They got their little treatment over here.
True that, true that. We are in that type of area. Yeah, this is what I mean, man. Like, the door is just open over here.
It's crazy.
Look, this is cool.
There is a sleigh.
Yeah, man.
Right in the shower. Why?
I have no clue why it's in there. A sleigh. Yeah, man. Just another bedroom.
Plenty of them in this place.
Yeah.
Imagine if they had up to more than 30 rooms, I believe. This is 32.
They did, man. And now it's just neglected. Like, nobody gives a single thing about it. Like, nobody cares. This is really decaying in time. And yet I still don't have the feeling that it is abandoned for that long, but actually it is.
Yeah, you can tell if you look to the ceiling over here. There's definitely more signs of degrade.
Yeah, yeah.
Tiny ballroom again. I believe this also used to be, yeah, 46. Not a tiny room.
Just mainly different hotel rooms. In this part at least. Look over here.
Exit.
Oh, it's gone. Well, yeah. Another one. Another ballroom.
Looks so clean.
Yeah, man. I mean, this place can definitely be fixed up. Like, properly clean it and can be easily fixed.
I have a feeling the rooms are quite the same here, but this one has stairs also going up.
Yeah.
Bed's been taken out of this one. And I'm wondering what's upstairs.
Another room. Oh wow. Ah, for the children. Wow. That's cool, man.
There's even a Garfield doll on the seat over there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this was, did they do those were like bedrooms for children or?
This, nah, I think playrooms actually, man. Because yeah, over here you can see storage. I don't know if anybody would sleep there, but here we have clothes. And we have multiple toys in here. Also just still laying over here.
So sad that the toys are just left to waste.
Yeah, man.
Could make a child very joyful with all those toys.
People that can't pay for it. Because these are in a very good condition.
For real.
Yeah, man. The power shooter. Super Soaker. Probably still working. Yeah, it's very sad to see that.
Also sad to see the drawings of the children over here. I still think this part is rather strange.
I don't know, I think it was privately used or it wasn't. Maybe look behind the door if there is like the price tag for this room.
It also doesn't have a number on the door, so I think it was just for anybody that stayed in there.
Yeah, I think it's indeed privately owned.
Used to be another room.
Another one. There's so much rooms.
Yeah, you get it. There are plenty of hotel rooms. And furthermore, there was also not anything else to see in this part.
No. So I do think that was it then, right?
Yeah.
We explored it in this wall.
Explored the restaurant, we explored the reception area.
Yep.
We explored the kitchen, we explored the hotel rooms.
Yeah, many hotel rooms actually. There were a lot of hotel rooms. I didn't even know that this guest house was here. He said to me like, yeah, there was another building which we need to explore. I was like, okay, yeah. I thought we were done, but absolutely not. So that means that there was indeed another part next to it. But it's kind of strange that the hotel used to be bigger. Because we saw it in the pictures, like it was bigger before.
Yeah.
It's quite strange, but I do think eventually the people just passed away and there was nobody to really take care of it, or at least try to take over, you know, try to continue with operations.
They had other ambitions, other wishes. Didn't want to go in the hotel branch, and the hotel just didn't see any guests coming ever since and closed for good.
And I'm just, you know, I'm just looking to my left or my right and think like, these things definitely still have some value, man. And I mean, these are the more simple rooms. We saw some valuable stuff in here. Also these paintings, busts, statues. I mean, it can be quite valuable. Why would you not try to sell one thing? Maybe again, a settlement, an agreement. We will probably know more of this place when we do some research. Of course, we can't say a lot about it. Can't say a lot of names as well. But I hope you really enjoyed this explore with us. I must say it was quite a long video, but we enjoyed it. We really enjoyed it. And if you did as well, then you know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment right down below. Ring the bell notification button right up there. And by the way, if you want to see exclusive content or get early access to our videos, we also offer YouTube memberships. And right down here, you can also find that actually right next to the subscribe button. There will be the YouTube memberships. Check it out if you want to. It would definitely help us out. And with that all said again, we will see you on our next adventure.
Peace out.